Hi everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel and to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are building a house in San Sequoia, which is, of course, as we all know by now, the world that we got with the Growing Together expansion pack. It's not a world I've built a lot in, mostly because I really dislike these horizontal 20 by 30 lots, and I'm not very familiar with the Craftsman style as a whole, and I think partly that's because it's a very traditional American suburban style, and I'm obviously not American, nor do I live in America. So it's a style that I've really struggled to capture when I've tried to build. And so for this particular house, I went onto the trusty building friend known as Pinterest, and I looked for some floor plans. And as we all know, trying to get real life floor plans into The Sims is nigh on impossible most of the time. There's always something that has to be changed because it doesn't work with, you know, the limitations that you have in the game. But I was very, very, very pleasantly surprised of how well this particular floor plan actually translated into the game. Just a quick note before I do go ahead and talk some more about the build while we're working on the exterior here. Shameless plug, I have not uploaded in a couple of weeks, and the reason for that is that I just released a new book. If you watched a few of my most recent videos, you'll remember that I was saying about being on deadline, having some builder's block, and having all my creativity pumped into a book. And the reason for all of that is the book called The Problem with Pretending. If you are a romance reader, or you fancy yourself a romance reader and you like your books with a side of fake relationship, a bird who fancies himself as a castle alarm system, and lots of swoony, snarky banter, then The Problem with Pretending might be the book for you. You can read it for free if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, and the book is available on Amazon as an ebook, and the paperback is coming very shortly. In my defense, I keep forgetting to upload it. So if you are interested in reading The Problem with Pretending, I will pop a link in the description box down below for you. It is what is called a universal Amazon link, which means that if you click it, it will take you to your local Amazon store. So if you're in the UK, it will take you to amazon.co.uk. If you're in the US, it will take you to .com. Australia will be .com.au, and so on and so forth. So with that shameless plug out of the way, let's talk more about the build. I wanted to build a house that was not overly expensive, and so I was being very mindful of the budget for this particular house, because looking at the size of it, it is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. And it's not overly huge, and with the lots being the weird sort of way they are, the backyard, side yard, the garden is not very large either. And so I was being really, really mindful of my budget. And this is why I have the little box up in the corner. It's not something I generally do when I build, because I generally don't stick to a budget. And it's also why I'm using all of the debug landscaping here, is because it makes it pretty and it doesn't cost me anything. My original budget going into this build was about 40,000 simoleons, and the reason for that is because I thought in my mind, as I was looking at the floor plan and putting this together, this is the perfect house to have as like a second stage house. If you're the kind of person like me who, when they play the game, they play it organically, they don't use money cheats in their gameplay, this is the kind of house I can imagine moving a sim into after they have had a kid and they're married and they're both maybe at like level 4 or something in their career. I don't know, I'm not sure. But it's definitely like that second stage house, like the next one up from a starter home. Now, I did go slightly over that 40,000. I think it ended up at about 46,000 simoleons, which overall isn't like a large amount of money. And I'm actually really happy with the final budget for it. And part of that is because I crammed in the skill building items in the kids' room. So I do a parents' bedroom, which has an ensuite. The master bedroom, it's actually smaller than the kids' room, and you will see that in a minute. And part of that reason is because when I was going through them, 1, that's how the floor plan went, and 2, I felt like it mattered more to give the kids a bit more space because of their skill building items in there. Plus, I do it for a child and a toddler, so I've definitely got, you know, I've got the 2 kids in there, and so I need toddler and kid stuff, and it worked. And that's really where the budget came in. I did change the floor plan ever so slightly. And by ever so slightly, I mean this little, there's like this 3x1 box here. I changed that into being like a little laundry nook. And I also add like a hallway to just kind of close off the bedrooms from the main living area a little bit. But the main living area, aside from my own fussiness here with the living room, it came together really quite quickly, and I was very happy with the way it turned out. And I was really adamant that I was 100% using these blue counters from Parenthood because they're actually one of my favorites, but I rarely get to use them. And so when I was coming into the interior of this house, I thought, right, this is a family home, a young family, they've got 2 kids. We're going to make this quite colourful. And so you are now witnessing the start of my living room fight. I actually built this build a few weeks ago, but this living room fight really sticks in my mind because it was the biggest headache in the world. I could not figure out the orientation of it. And it was a bit the same with the dining table there. It's kind of supposed to be in the middle. And I could have done it if I didn't have the big like square fake column that I've built here. But I really wanted it because I liked the separation it gave from the kitchen to the living area. And also I wanted like that extra bit of wall space for the living room as well. So yeah, that's why that's there. And I kind of really liked having the table pushed up against the wall. I felt like it was sort of realistic. Like if this was a house that you were in, and obviously if this was a house for us, we would just kind of scooch past the chairs, tuck them right under, put them on top of the table, whatever. But the Sims can't do that because Sims are dumb. So it was easier to just have it up against the wall and still be able to have that family dining table there. This is me now. I was going to put one of the closets from the Get Together pack in there because it is actually designated as a closet space in the floor plan. But I felt like it was kind of a bit of a waste of time because the bedrooms would have a closet in anyway. And does anybody ever really use those except for like a woohoo spot? I don't know. So I thought that the laundry space would be more realistic. Although, of course, if you don't have the laundry pack, that is the only stuff I believe from Laundry Day that is in there. So you can just delete that and maybe put like a bookshelf there or something, or the closet, of course. My biggest problem here with the living room was that I like things to be symmetrical and I like things to match. And as you can see here, the window is in a very awkward spot. And it's because the window is exactly in the center on the wall from the door to the edge. And it wasn't central for the living room. And I kind of wanted to have that nice walkway be relatively clear through to the kitchen. And I couldn't make it work. Everywhere I put the sofa, everywhere I put the sofa, it was just not right. And it was the most frustrating thing. In the end, this is the orientation I settled on, and I'm very happy with the way that ended up being, because it allowed me to put a desk in as well, which I thought was a really important thing, to have the desk with the computer, because I don't believe there's one in any other room in the house. And we all know how Sims need a computer. This is me here now, just sectioning off this space and adding the hallway. Part of that reason was because I wanted to have a little hallway actual space here as like an entryway. And I think I grab the unit from Seasons here, this one here, and I just push it back into the wall using Move Objects and the Alt key ever so slightly, just to get rid of that back and make it look like it's all sort of individual, because it allowed me to have the letter thing on there as well. I didn't go overboard with the clutter and the decoration, and part of that was because of my budget, but the other part of it was because I wanted, if you go in, I wanted you to be able to put your own touches in it as well. And it's very much the kind of house where, like, okay, you've got the photo frames, put your own photos in there, and there's just a few very basic toys and stuff around. There's not really a lot of like extra stuff all over the place that I would normally do. And you can see I made a custom floor there in the kitchen as well, partially because I wanted it to be black and white. And I also didn't know, I don't like the one that comes with The Sims. Do you know the one I mean? Like the normal black and white one that comes with The Sims. The squares are so small, and I feel like they're very like, whoa, in your face. So I made my own one using some of like the concrete, and I think it turned out really well, and I'm really pleased with that. As you can see, I'm just doing a bit of cursory furnishing now in the bathroom, getting the essentials in, because I am sticking to a budget. And I think I've said this before in a starter home, that when I am sticking to a budget, once I have got the main part of the build done, I like to go in and put all the essentials down. So for me, after that, the essentials is obviously all of the bathroom suites, beds, a closet, bedside table, just very, very basic furnishings. And so that was what I did here. I got in the bathtub, I got in the shower. So there is a full-sized family bathroom. Please forgive me, it is like 9 a.m. and I am not a morning person. I don't know why I'm recording this so early, because my brain is not going yet. A full-size bathroom here with a shower tub combo and a potty for the toddler, because like I said, I do have a kid and a toddler in the bedroom. And then in the parents' bathroom, I just have the shower. Mostly because I didn't really want to put one of the big shower tub combos like on the inside, and I wanted them to have a window in the bathroom. And I didn't like want to block off the gameplay, kind of, because I feel like I'm very conscious for the most part about where I put the big shower tub combos, because they kind of stick up and they're a bit awkward. Yeah, so we have moved into the kids' bedroom now, and I have to say I think this is one of my favourite kids' bedrooms I have built in a really long time. I don't often combine a kid with a toddler. I tend to give every kid, like, life stage a different bedroom. But with this being a 2-bedroom house, and with this being a relatively large room, I decided that was what I was going to do. I was going to put 2 kids in here, and I wanted them to be different life stages for that little bit of realism. And I really love the way the toddler beds slot under the loft beds. I think that's a really nice touch from The Sims 2. And you can see that I also use one of the bookshelves from Growing Together as like an end piece for the loft bed. And I feel like that's nice. It kind of creates like a bit of an entryway into the bedroom. And it just gives that nice little end spot that kind of closes it in. I really wish the tree houses weren't that big as well. I will forever complain about how huge they are because they take up so much space, and it means they're so hard to do in like these relatively normal backyards. Like, why did they give us such a large item and such small lots in this world? I don't know. But anyway, you can see I'm coming in here and I'm just doing a little bit of decorating, a little bit of clutter. And this was the point I realized that this was like the only room that I actually like decorated. I didn't decorate any other room the way I decorated the kids' room. And that is very much on me. I love decorating kids' rooms. I think they are so much fun. And I also used the Void Critter game station as well. It's not something I use a lot, honestly, because I forget it exists. And then I saw it when I was going through here, and I was just like, that is a perfect thing to just kind of plop in the middle of the room. And there we go. We are slowly coming to the end of the video now. As you can see, all the furnishing is done, and I'm just going through and changing up the lighting from the sort of basic ones I put down. The build is fully play tested and is available on the gallery. My gallery ID is EmmaHart121. I will also pop that in the description box down below and on screen for you in case you want to download this build. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more Sims 4 content. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.